Welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 6 horror games on the MetaQuest 3 for 2025. And I'm really excited to do this list for you guys because we all love horror games. We like getting scared, especially around this time of year. And there's something on this list for everybody, from cooperative, from single player, from multiplayer games. This list may be short, but there's a lot of good variety on it that came out this year in the horror base. And if you guys want to support me and the channel, as always, links down below for all of these games. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so the first one here coming in at number 6 is called Ghost Photographers. This is a game where you and 3 of your friends are basically running around in these 9 floors, and you're trying to use your cell phone that you have in your hand and try to figure out what ghost spirits are around you, and just trying to survive together using voice chat, cooperating with your friends to basically escape this building. It's a really cool use of like cooperating with your friends. There's not a lot of horror games like this where it's cooperative and you're trying to use your different phone and you're getting scared through all these different places, and you hear your friends scream while you're playing cooperatively, which is also fun. And you don't get to see any of these creatures or any of these things that are happening around you unless you see them through your phone, which really gives it a unique flavor to most of the games out there. So check out Ghost Photographers coming in at number 6. The next one here coming in at number 5 is called Scared by Squares. So this game is really interesting and has a really unique art style and nothing that I've ever played before. So basically what's happening here is you are a prisoner that was given a life sentence and you have one chance to get out. And basically you are put in this cube looking, environment and stuff like that. Basically a digital prison where you basically have to figure out what's going on and escape. And like you guys can see here, the art style and the graphics and stuff like that, and the horrors that you will find as you walk around here will really scare people. A lot of people are talking about this being a really scary game because you don't know what's going to happen around each corner, and all you're doing is surrounded by these squares. It's a really, really cool game, and like I said, it easily makes this list, and it's definitely one of the unique ones out there with the way that the graphics look, the way it's portrayed, and it's just, you're going to have a very good time with this game when it comes to being scared, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So check out Scared by Squares coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is called Blackgate. And this one is really unique as well because we don't get a lot of these types of games either. This is a 4v1 game in multiplayer. So you basically have 4 engineers and 1 alien. So those 4 engineers are working together, and they're basically in a spaceship and in a station, and they're trying to restore crucial systems, unlock the armory, and basically do all these different things that they need to do to stay alive. And each engineer has their own unique role that they're trying to do to basically help the team win and survive. And the movement system that you're using is interesting. You're using thrusters to move around the environment and stuff like that. So it's a really unique take on that formula. If you guys are familiar with games like Dead by Daylight and, Echo Arena and stuff like that, it's kind of a mashup of both of those together. And then the alien, it's really cool because the alien starts off kind of weak, but then every engineer that he kills, he gets stronger and stronger in Kane's ability. So it's a really cool take on this type of game. Really unique out there and really fun. Check out Blackgate coming in at number 4. The next one here coming in at number 3 is called Ghost Town. And this is from the developers called Fireproof Games. And if that sounds familiar, that's because they are the creators of the famous game that a lot of us played back in the day called The Room. And this is their next game after that, and it kind of follows it up perfectly. This is you exploring different environments and stuff like that, these atmospheric locations that you're going through, and using your torchlight to basically check out your surroundings, see what's going on, learning about the story, learning about the diverse characters that are in here. You'll see characters that are living, you'll see characters that are dead. You're trying to figure out the secrets of what's happening with all these hauntings in the environments that you're going through. You're solving puzzles. We know that the original Room was all about puzzles, and that is all in here as well. And the graphics are just fantastic in this game. They did a really good job, and it's a perfect sequel to what they did. You're a paranormal detective agency, and you're running through trying to figure out all these different hauntings, and all the environments that you go through are so cool, unique, and the way that the story is told is just fantastic. It's one of the best games when it comes to horror games released in a really long time, and it's obviously fantastic being high on this list, and it's really, really good. If you guys are into single-player, story-based games like this, and you love the original Room, make sure you check out Ghost Town coming in at number 3. The next one here coming in at number 2 is actually an app, which is why this list has app in the name, and that is Blumhouse. This is the Enhanced Cinema Edition. This is a really good game to get into for Halloween and for horror, and it is a app that is made by Blumhouse, the one that make a lot of famous movies out there like Megan and Black Phone, and these are the two movies that they have in here. And this is a very unique experience. You have to rent these movies and you get to watch them in your room, but it takes over what's actually happening on screen. So if there's an explosion on screen, you'll see it explode around the actual screen. So you have all these digital effects happening. Your room sometimes turns into the environments that you see on the phone. Sometimes next to you, you'll see a phone just like it's happening in the movies. It is super cool, super unique. It's what I've always wanted movies to do in VR. And if you guys have not checked this out, I urge you to. Blumhouse at number 2. And the number 1 game on this list for horror for 2025 has got to be Memoreum, and I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is a game that started off and was built 4 years ago, and this is created by Patient 8 Games. If you guys remember that Half-Life Alyx mod from a long time ago called Return to Rapture, that is from the same people who brought you this game as well. It is a super awesome game. If you guys are familiar with like Dead Space and stuff like that, this is that game. It's basically a horror shooter, just like Dead Space is, where you're going through and you found yourself on a ship and you're trying to figure out why the ship is different than when you first left it, and all the inhabitants that are on the ship have all lost their humanity. You have a voice that's kind of guiding you as you go through the darkness and stuff, like Halo Master Chief style, which is super cool, and I love that idea. And then you're going through and you're shooting all these different enemies, going through the story, going through the ship, trying to basically get better weapons and stuff like that, going through the story. It is super awesome. One of the best horror games, well, it is the best horror game that's released in 2025 so far, in my opinion, and one of the best that you can play on the platform. It's definitely not one to be missed, especially if you're into the genre of like a horror shooter type game like you are with Dead Space and stuff like that. This is basically Dead Space for VR, in my opinion. They did a fantastic job with this, a fantastic follow-up to the original mod that they made with Half-Life Alyx. Check out Memoreum coming in at number 1. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the list of all the different horror games that you can experience today on the Quest that came out in 2025, and you got a game that maybe you haven't heard of before. Happy Halloween to everyone, and thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you guys want to support me and the channel, there'll be links down to the games down in the description. Thank you guys for watching.